Welcome to the W. Welcome to the W. Welcome to the W. Welcome to the WNBA. The W.
What it do, peeps? It's the Beat Chef with watching the damn tape. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified when I drop my next video. New subscribers, I appreciate you for watching. Hope you enjoy the show. Old subscribers, I appreciate you for helping me build this platform and continue to push out this content. Liberty Fever. Liberty come into Gainbridge Fieldhouse and get the win 90-88. It was a close game. Very entertaining game. Had a lot of twists. A lot of twists and turns in this game. But ultimately this game came down to execution. Period. Execution. If you execute, you're not in this position. And the Fever aren't losing. New York executed. They had their missteps. They had a third quarter that they got destroyed. But we're going to break it all down. First, let's get breakfast out. Leona Febic played 7 minutes, had 0 points. She get a bagel with the strawberry cream cheese on it. Strawberry. DeWanna Bonner get a boo-boo sticker. And DeWanna Bonner didn't score. She scored. She scored 2 free throws and was 0-4 from the field and played 23 minutes. Had 7 rebounds. You didn't make a shot. You get a boo-boo sticker. And I'm beginning to think I was kind of on to something. I said Caitlin Clark was a sports car. And you're trying to put old 1979 Buick Regal parts in this car and try to make it work. DeWanna Bonner's age is starting to show. She don't have it. She don't have it. This is just a paycheck grab, man. I'm gonna keep saying it until she proved me wrong. 23 minutes. I was glad they started Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull deserved to be the start. And she should start until otherwise. Because DeWanna Bonner has to look like this in practice. They didn't get anything from the bench. Sophie Cunningham, 20 minutes, only scored 5 points, 2 of 4. It's pathetic. That was it. Dantas, 4 minutes, she got a bagel. She got a bagel. Nothing. Nothing from the bench. The bench wasn't no help today. Wasn't no help. Team shot 44%, shot 30% from 3, 73% from the free throw line. But New York, the game was like an NBA game the first quarter. First quarter ended 30-29 New York with the 1 point lead. But in the first quarter, Howard picked up her second foul at the 6 minute and 16-second mark, and I thought that was huge. And Caitlin Clark, somebody had a breakaway layup, and I'm like, just let her go. Caitlin Clark, dumb foul. Got her second foul, and the announcer said, "Oh, that's not a big deal." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a big deal," because you got to realize, and I don't know if these announcers they don't want to say it because they don't want to make it look like it's the world versus Caitlin Clark. Trust and believe. Every time Caitlin Clark's on that court, that other team is extra motivated to bust her ass. Like, it's beyond basketball. It's a personal thing. That's why Febic only played 7 minutes and she got hurt. But man, she's picking up full court the whole 7 minutes she was in the game. The entire time she was in the game, she was picking up full court. Then when she went out, Kennedy Burke came in and she continued it. The only time they didn't is when Sophie Cunningham brought the ball up, or someone else. But if Caitlin Clark touched that ball, Caitlin Clark got more attention. That's why watching the Wings, the Dallas Wings, is so intriguing, because it's totally different with Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers is like a journeyman free agent coming up court. They don't even care. But the Liberty were playing super hard. Second quarter looked like they were going to open it up. Had an 18-1 run. They had 4 players in double figures. And in the second, Caitlin Clark hadn't made a three-pointer, and it seemed like forever. And I noticed, I wrote down, I said, man, she's really pressing. Really pressing. The offense is stagnant. They're just waiting for the Energizer Bunny to plug in and get Caitlin started. I'm like, Caitlin, when the 3 ain't falling, the 2 be balling. Sabrina Ionescu ain't hitting threes like crazy either. But Sabrina Ionescu's putting it on that damn floor and taking it to the rack. And at times, Sabrina Ionescu seemed to just, like Lexi Hull, it seemed like they had it on a loop. Lexi Hull would be guarding Sabrina Ionescu, and Sabrina Ionescu would come around a screen and blow by Lexi Hull. I mean, it was like play after play, over and over. But that's what Caitlin should have did early, and I thought in that second quarter, she did early. The Liberty, both teams they only played 8 players. Breanna Stewart, I give her credit. 36 minutes, 4 of 11, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, and had 16 points. Like I said, Leona Febich had a bagel. Jonquel Jones was the one for me. Jonquel Jones, for me coming into this game, I mean, Aaliyah Boston matched her. I mean, I can't even give Boston any slack today. Jonquel Jones had 26 points, shot 9 of 15, 6-7 from the free throw, had 12 rebounds, had 1 block. Natasha Cloud is a super upgrade over Vandersloot. 35 minutes, 6 of 9, 16 points, 6 assists. Sabrina Ionescu, 8 of 20. Didn't shoot well from 3, had 23 points. But she made plays when it counted. And she hit some big free throws, because she missed 2 free throws in the fourth that would have probably cost them the game if the Fever were playing better. But she hit 2 at the end, and she iced this bad boy. The third quarter is when the Fever really erupted. It started out slow, and then they made a run. It was like a 12-4 run. Like I said, it was 76-68 at the end of the third quarter. 76-68 at the end of the third quarter. You had a terrible fourth. It wasn't the refs. People are complaining about the refs and that last play with Caitlin Clark. Man, it's like I've always been told. Outshoot the refs. If you're hitting shots and you're making baskets, refs are irrelevant. You know who gets the call? The call is the person that drives to the basket that gets the call more than the shooter. If you shooting and missing, I'd rather have you shooting and missing than driving and dishing off for somebody, or making a layup, or getting those points when the clock's not ticking. That's what the Liberty did. The Fever got back into the game in the third quarter. Caitlin Clark started driving to the hole. She started being aggressive. They got aggressive on defense, started making plays, had some stops. Caitlin Clark was driving to the hole, or she'd take a rebound, she'd take it coast to coast and get an and one. And that's how you get your 3. Get your three the old fashioned way. And then make them fear the drive. And that's what Caitlin Clark's gotta learn. You gotta drive. You gotta add to the game. Yeah, the three gets the crowd into the game, but man, wearing they ass out with them twos will get the crowd into the game as well. Pull up. Drive and pull up. Mid range. Slow the game down and work the offense. And I thought in that third early they were real stagnant. And then when she started driving and they worried about her driving, that's when she unleashed the logo. That's when she started hitting the deep three and popped those two. It was only then. It was off of driving to the basket and made Natasha Cloud worry. You got to put something on the defense's mind. Man, she might try to go by me. Because if you go by that defender at that 3-point line, somebody's gonna come off their man. Now you can kick to somebody, and that's what her and Aaliyah Boston had working. She got Aaliyah Boston so many easy baskets, but early there was a lot of misses, especially by Howard and Bonner. Bonner had a wide open three and hit the side of the backboard, and I was like, yeah, this was a bad free agent pick. This was a bad free agent pick. Fourth quarter starts, and it starts off bad, slow. Kelsey Mitchell misses a breakaway layup. And it was going to come down to possessions. And another one was Caitlin missed bad misses by Caitlin sets up Howard and Boston. And they both miss point blank shots under the rim. And it's like, it starts whenever the Fever starts doing their downfall, they revert back to last year's team, even though all these players are new. And that's what happened. Ionescu comes down, she gets fouled, she misses the 2 free throws. They go back and forth, and every time you can just see the Fever losing ground, and they could never get back to that formula that they had in the third quarter. Never got back to it. After trailing most of the game for the most part, and then gaining the lead in the third. I mean, because they tore them up, 30-point third quarter, and New York, only scored 13. This was a tough loss. Crowd was in it for the most part, especially when she hit the threes. They got up. It's just this came down to execution. It came down to execution. Period. I mean, New York didn't get much from their bench. So they got 9 points total. Marine Johannes got a bagel also. Played 15 minutes. They shot like crap from three. 25%. 7 to 27. Free throws damn near even. 78%. 46% from the field. 63 shots. Made 29. Indiana got 78 shots. Made 35. Those threes will kill you. 7 of 23, 30%. Had they turned, and Caitlin Clark get a boo-boo sticker for the threes. Caitlin Clark you gotta say something about the excessive threes. If Caitlin Clark runs the offense and gets better shots, though that shooting percentage is way higher, closer to 50, and the Fever get the win. It's just, I mean, like I said, they lost by 2 points. couple possessions here and there, and they get the win. But this was a good win for the Liberty. And I said, hey, you're going to have to play your A game to beat the champs. And now that they got Cloud, who can facilitate and defend, and she's got to get ready for it. And I know Stephanie White knows this. They're going to send the house at Caitlin Clark. She will get defended like no other player in the league that has ever entered the WNBA has ever gotten guarded. And into the main difference with the Liberty, and especially when it comes to this Fever team, they got players that can score, which means you can't take off on defense. There's no, the third wheel on their team is, I can just, I can sag back. There was a lot of blown coverages in this game. You can't do that with the Liberty. Liberty, they can score. Cloud can get it. Phoebich can score. Anescu can score. Jonquel Jones can score. Stewart can score. So everybody got to be on their tiptoes. But as the season goes, Indiana's going to have to develop that bench. They're going to have to get Michaela Timpson up to speed quick. Because you got two vets in Howard and Bonner. And after a while, playing lengthy minutes is going to wear Howard out as well. So they're going to have to get Timpson. Brianna Turner is going to have to, she's going to have to step her game up. And they might need to start playing Colson just a little bit, just to give another ball handler on the court, mix up the offense a little bit. Let Caitlin play without the ball, and make her let somebody else chase her around the court all game. Because, I mean, like I say, playing that third quarter, when they amped up the defense, you can tell the batteries, the juice, shots falling short, blowing layups, which is the worst thing in the world, airballing balls, fatigue. And remember, folks, I told you, it's going to take 15 to 20 games for the Fever to get their rhythm. And other teams it's going to take 20, 25. They play the Mystics next. Not sure if Brittany Sykes is going to play, but they gave the Aces everything they could handle. And they got 4 Olympians, 4 All-Stars starting. And they were getting their butts whooped most of the game. So it ain't no easy out next game either. They can play the Mystics, and the Mystics can beat the Fever. Especially this early in the season, anybody can catch a loss at this point in junction in the season. You can snatch teams' hearts out right now. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave your comments below, and until next time, peace.
Welcome to the W. Welcome to the W. Welcome to the W. Welcome to the W. The WNBA.